Good morning, students. This is Kunal Bose, and in today's session, let's start with the topic transpiration. The excess water which is absorbed by the plant is given out in the form of water vapor that we all know. This loss of water in the form of water vapor through the stomata of leaves and other aerial parts of the plant is called transpiration. What is transpiration? The loss of water from stomata and other aerial parts. The greater the transpiration, the greater is the rate of absorption of water from the soil, because the more will be loss of water, so plant require more water. So and there as this process continues, so absorption of water will be more from the soil. This diagram clearly shows how does the transpiration works. Water lost by transpiration. Water is absorbed by the root hair, and through the suction pressure it goes from capillaries to the leaves, and then it goes out. It transpires as in the form of water vapor. Transpiration pull. When water is lost through leaves, a suction force is created which pulls up water from the xylem of roots to the stem, and then it goes to the leaves. This suction force or this pull up of water is known as transpirational pull. With the help of this transpirational pull, water get entered to root hair from the soil. Wilting. If the water lost through transpiration is more as compared to absorbed water by the root hair, then plant loses more water, resulting in leaves, stem and flowers to droop. Means these all are gets bent down. Many times you have seen in your life that you have seen that leaves, stem and flowers, they get bent. What is this? This situation is called as wilting. What are the factors which affects the rate of transpiration? First, the time of the day or light, the time of light. Light causes the stomata to open. The stomata and leaves are open during the day and closed at night. So more transpiration takes place during the daytime, because for opening the stomata light is required, and in evening or night time the light is not there, so stomata get closed, so transpiration will not be possible. Then comes temperature. Higher the temperature, faster is the rate of evaporation. Thus, the transpiration is faster on hot days as compared to cold days, because in hot days temperature is more, so evaporation will be more, so transpiration will be more. Humidity. Transpiration is lower on humid days because air is more moist. Then comes wind. The rate of transpiration increases on windy days. As compared to normal days, when windy days are there, in those windy days, the rate of transpiration increases. We are discussing transpiration, the rate factors affect the rate of transpiration, but what is the importance of transpiration for the plant? Now let's discuss with this the importance of transpiration for the plant. First, it gives cooling effect to the plant. Transpiration produces a cooling effect on the plant due to evaporation of water from it. Because plants also need to cool down their temperature. Then comes transportation of food. If excess water is not evaporated, then cell sap. We know what is cell sap is. Water and mineral salts will dilute, means it gets thinner. So absorption of water and minerals will take place further. The transpiration will not possible because absorption of minerals will be taking place. So the transportation will not be possible. So here transpiration helps in transport of water and minerals. Translocation of food. The transport of food from one part of the plant to the another part of the plant is called translocation of food. This food prepared by the leaves is translocated to different parts of the plant by phloem's sieve tube in both upward and downward direction. This diagram shows the translocation process. Here, this is phloem, blue shining part is showing phloem, and this purple is xylem. The food prepared by the leaf cell, this is sugar, it goes through phloem, and this H2O water goes, and then again sugar goes downward direction, and then it get distributed to the till the root here. What are the nutrients required by the plant? Plant require certain elements for their growth and development, which are known as plant nutrients. They obtain these materials, these plant nutrients, from soil, air, and water. Essential elements are further classified into two categories: major nutrients, micronutrients. What are major nutrients are? They are the major elements required for the plant growth, required by a plant in large quantities. Major nutrients are required in large quantities. What are major elements? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. These all are comes under the category of major nutrients. Now micronutrients. These are minor elements. They are required by plants in small quantities. Though they are required in small quantities, but they are also essential for plant growth. The example of micronutrients are iron, copper, boron, zinc, manganese, and chlorine. So with this, we have completed our first chapter. Thank you very much. All the best.